5 years ago, you were making $26,000 in a year, and my brother, you just told me on air, you made $26,000 in 1 month.
I know. It's crazy, right?
What do you think holds people back from maximizing their career in automotive sales?
The motivation and the hustle.
I mean, if you think about it, here's the thing is that people like, oh, it's hard to sell cars. No, you know it's hard? Going to fucking Mars. Hey everybody, this is Sean B. Badley, president of Dealer Synergy and the creator of the Millionaire car salesman community. What's up, my people? Let's get busy today. I've got a guest I'm going to introduce in a couple minutes, but I want to talk to you what's on my mind. Right now, there's so many people that are in the Millionaire car salesman Facebook group, and man, it's like SOS. It's like Gilligan's Island. People are stressing. I can't sell cars. We have no leads. We're not making any money. And I keep seeing DMs or text messages or posts about pay plans and about this and about that. So let me just give you some quick feedback from someone that's been doing this for almost 30 years now, right? 27 years, is that you should not be majority focused on your pay plan. Don't get me wrong. Like if you have a stupid pay plan, then it's stupid. I get it. But there's no magic pay plan. You know what I mean? What's more important, in my opinion, than the actual pay plan is the organization that you're with. Because you could have a great pay plan, but if you've got no inventory, if you've got no opportunity for ups, if they don't invest in training, if they don't support you in marketing and building your own business within their own business, then what does it matter, the pay plan? You know what I mean? There's other mitigating factors. So what I want to say first, this is a public service announcement to anybody that is questioning their pay plan. Let me just go over a couple things. Every dealership has their own version of a pay plan. You know, some dealerships are going to have just front end gross. Some pay you on the back end. Some pay you on the aftermarket. Some pay you, for different things. Again, you might even have a situation where you're not paid on the gross. You're paid on a flat. And everybody's going to have an opinion. So in our group, we have 30,000 dealer principals, GMs, sales managers, F&I managers, internet directors, BD reps, and salespeople. We have 30,000 automotive professionals on the front lines crushing it in our group. And when you post something like, what do you think my pay plan? Everybody's gonna have a different opinion. There's Democrats, there's Republicans. There's Christians, there's Muslims, there's Bloods, there's Crips. My point being is that there's different organizations out there. So I get it. You're stressed out. You want to know, am I getting screwed over, or do I have a good pay plan? Or I get it. So here's the things I would say that are not the only important, but I say personally more important than just the pay plan structure. One, do you have a good organization that has a good reputation? Do they have good Google reviews, Yelp reviews, Dealer Rater reviews? Do they have good reputation in the community? Because you could work at a great store with a great pay plan, but if they're shady and shot and there's a lot of problems that are there, you're not going to be able to make money. So that's one of the things. Second is, do you have enough inventory, new cars, used cars, etc.? Does your dealership specialize in diversification? Meaning, do you do special finance? Do you have, do you guys focus on leasing as well? Because there's a lot of new car dealerships, especially down south, that don't do leasing. There's like a 20%, lease penetration, whereas in the Northeast, you're like 70%. In California, it's like 80, 90%. So those things are important. Do they invest in training? Do they have a real training program at all? Because a lot of times, it's like, here's a brochure, here's product knowledge, be all you can be. So do they invest in people development? Do you have an organization that does professional development, personal development, skill path training, team building, things like that? Now, there's 8 ways to sell cars: walk-ins, beatbacks, internet, phone, prior customers, orphan owners, referrals, and a lost auto prospecting. Do you have the ability to diversify the way that you sell cars? Do they teach you? Do they support you? Do they empower you in building your own business? Do they teach you about marketing, advertising, branding, social media? Do they have cutting edge technology like artificial intelligence, like generative AI, like video AI or conversational AI? Do they have a good CRM, or do they have a freaking Nintendo or Atari version of a CRM? Do they actually use the CRM? Do they invest in technology? And so many other things. Now, again, yes, your pay plan structure is important, but in my opinion, it's It's all of it. It's the overall situation that you should be focused on. So it really breaks my heart because of my experience when I have people saying, look at my pay plan. It's only part picture. That's like trying to make a decision on your spouse just by what they look like. Ooh, right? Do you really, that's a big decision. You're like, she's got to look good or he's got to look good. Yeah, but are they a good person? Are they going to be loyal? Are they going to be faithful? Are they going to be a good mom? Are they going to be a good spouse? Are they going to be a good friend? Are they kind to people? Again, so it's more than just looks with your life partner. Just like this is your career. You're gonna spend just as much time, if not more time, at your work than you do with your own family and children and spouse. So you wanna make sure you make the right decision, and it's not just about the pay plan. So I hope that helps. And today, oh my gosh, when we come back from this break, I'm gonna introduce you our special guest, who's a 30-car guy. And we're gonna break it down, what he does, how he does it, and we're gonna just get some advice from him. So this is what I love to do. I specialize in finding the information from the people that have it and give it to the people that need it, my audience. All right, so this is SVB, and the place to be is the Millionaire Car Salesman Podcast, and we'll be right back after we pay for these opportunities we got right now. Bye.
If you're looking for the absolute best automotive sales training from the #1 millionaire car salesman in the world, Cody Carter, who sold 1,408 units in 2023 and made $1.2 million in personal income, make sure you sign up for Cody's 24/7 video on-demand training, tracking, and testing certification program, Sell Like Cody. That's right, Sell Like Cody is on Bradley On Demand. Cody covers absolutely everything in his successful selling process. If you want to learn how to sell more cars, more often, and more profitably, enroll now at bradleyondemand.com or contact Dealer Synergy today.
Thank you for calling Doing It Wrong Motors. How can I help you?
I was looking at the tan 2023 GMC Terrain. You guys still have that?
Oh, sorry. That vehicle's been sold.
Could this be happening at your dealership? Get the Dealer Synergy team to handle calls the right way. We'll gather all the information, drop it in the CRM, set a solid appointment with notes, so all you have to do is sell. Do yourself a favor and go to dealersynergy.com for a free demo.
And no more of this burning through phone-ups nonsense.
I'm back. What's up, people? This is SVB, and the place to be is the Millionaire Car Salesman Podcast. We are the #1 podcast for the entire automotive sales industry. We're the #1 Facebook group with 30,000 automotive professionals, and we're here to help you sell more cars more often and more profitably. And we're going to do that with our special guest today, Mr. Denzel Applewhite. Now, wait a minute. I didn't say Denzel Washington, you know what I'm saying? But I said Denzel Applewhite, but Denzel's in the building. What's up, Denzel?
What's up, you guys? I appreciate having me, Sean.
It is my pleasure, man. So first and foremost, how did you find out about us? Because there's we know somebody in common, I heard, right?
Yeah, we do.
My
sister
that?
was the one that put me in contact with you guys. She's been bragging on you guys since day one. All the information you guys have showed her, and she's implemented in her car sales.
Who's
strategy.
her? Tell everybody who she is.
My sister, my big sister, Nicole.
Tell everybody her name.
Nicole Applewhite.
There you go.
She's the one that got me into the car industry, so I'm very thankful.
Well, let's talk about her. So, older sister, younger sister?
Older sister.
Okay. Older sister. How long has she been in the business? What is her role in the industry, and what's her success like?
Okay, she's been in the business for over 10 years. She's in car sales now. She bounced around from different positions, but she's in car sales now. She does very well. She's at the Subaru store locally from me, about 10 miles away. So,
okay, and so she's the one that inspired you to get into the automotive industry.
Exactly. Yes.
All right. So, how long have you been in the automotive industry?
Just over 4 years. I started out as a porter, and I've been in the sales portion of it for about 4.5 years now.
Okay, so you've been in sales for about 4.5 years, but you started out as a porter.
Yes.
Okay, and now I just want to know, what was your #1 month? How many is the most amount of cars you sold in 1 month?
2 months ago, I hit 40.
You hit 40.
#1.
Okay, we're changing the title. This is a 40-car guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, hell yeah. Okay, let me put some respect in your name, Denzel Applewhite, 40-car guy. Whoop whoop. There you go.
Thank you so much.
That respect, you more than quadrupled what the average salesperson sells in the United States. NADA says that the average salesperson sells less than 10 cars. It's like 9.6, 9.8. And even if it was 10, you literally quadrupled. You didn't double, you didn't triple, you sold 4 times what the national number is. You should be very proud of yourself, my man. Now, and you just did that 2 months ago, you said, right? Okay, what's the most amount of cars you sold in one day?
5.
5. Holy crap. Okay. And then what I want to know also is what's the most amount of money you grossed, not took home, but grossed in a month? And that could be from your commissions, your bonuses, your spiffs, your OEM spins, if you have any, whatever. You want a contest, you got to watch. What's the most amount of money you brought in 1 month?
I would say right under $26,000 gross, sir.
Damn, Gina, from my man Martin. Damn, Gina. $26,000. Now, where are you based out of?
Florida, Fort Walton Beach.
There you go. There you go, Florida. Now, can I ask you a question about like your background? Before you did car sales, you were a lot person. Now, let's keep it real. What was your pay plan? $10 an hour, $12? What were you getting paid as a lot boy?
I'm not going to lie to you. I think I lied to the manager and told him I wanted $12.50 an hour, but it starts at 12. So I told him I was like $12.50 or I can't do it. But
okay, so you were making $12.50 an hour.
Yes.
Less than 5 years ago.
Exactly.
Okay,
yeah.
So now, what's that a year? So $12.50 times 40 is roughly about $500 a week times 52 weeks. So it's 500 times 52. Okay, it's about $26,000 a year. So that's what you were making 5 years ago. You were making $26,000 in a year. And my brother, you just told me on air, you made $26,000 in 1 month.
I know. It's crazy, right?
Yo, no, I want to repeat that for all of our listeners because that is the American dream. You know what I mean? That is it. We live in a country that we could do whatever we want to do. If a reality TV star businessman could become president of the United States, you know, if people could fly to the moon or fly to Mars, you know, I mean, like Elon Musk is trying to do and all this other stuff. I mean, like, how difficult is it? Rhetorical question. How hard is it to sell cars? I mean, if you think about it, here's the thing: is that people like, oh, it's hard to sell cars. No, you know, it's hard going to fucking Mars. That's hard. You know, it's hard doing cardiovascular surgery across the world. Do you know that we have doctors, we have surgeons right now in the United States that are doing surgery through robotics and artificial intelligence all over the world? So they'll have a surgeon, let's say in New York City, that's using AI and robotics, and the patient might be in Germany or might be in Africa. Did you know that, Denzel?
That's amazing. Groundbreaking.
Yes. You understand we have artificial intelligence that's a very high level, conversational AI, generative AI, and there's just so many things. But yet I see people that basically complaining like, I can't sell cars. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? I'm talking to a dude right now, Mr. Denzel Applewhite, that was making $26,000 a year, grinding it out, moving cars around as a lot boy, right?
I know.
And then 2 months ago, you made what you made in a year in 1 month, and you sold 40 cars. How does that feel to you, brother? Honestly, how does that feel emotionally? Do you ever have a chance to just recognize how special that is and how rare that is and how awesome that is?
It took me a while to bring it in. I'm a big motivator and dreamer, sir. So, I mean, once I seen that, it pushed me more to motivate myself to go harder. So yeah, it just took me a while to realize how far I came. And I'm not gonna lie, it shed some light on it. I'm thankful. I'm so thankful. I can't put it in words how thankful I am.
Anybody in your family, you know, were they making that type of money? Did you grow up with wealthy people?
No, sir. No, complete opposite. So this is completely new for me. So that's why it's just something I'm just so thankful for, to be in this position.
Nah, listen, brother. But the one thing about this industry, though, is that you must have earned it, because nothing's given for us for free. You didn't just fall into 40 cars. You didn't just fall into $26,000. You put in that work, whether it was your mindset, your skill set, your consistency, your dedication, your personality, whatever. You did it. Nobody just gave you $26,000. Nobody just gave you 40 cars. Now you got to remember something. There's 18,100 franchise dealers, another 40,000 independent buy here, pay here lots, right? So there's 50,000 car dealers. That means that you're looking at probably anywhere from 400 to 500,000 car salespeople. There's actually close to 500,000 people that sell cars, either at a franchise dealership, at a mom and pop lot. And I'm not even talking about auto brokers and all the other stuff, just like really. When you think about it, we have what, like 350 million people. So, 500,000 selling cars, that makes sense. Out of 500,000 people, the average person sells 9.6 cars. You sold 40. I want to know, how did you do it? So what would you say is the secret to your success? Like that month that you sold 40 cars, how did you do it? What did you do?
Okay. You spoke a lot about it. Also, having a good dealership that gets traffic, being able to get customers the opportunity, that's first and foremost. And I would say once you have that in place, you need a good process, having a good needs assessment from the customers, motivation. You need to be know car sales math, the basics. Every $10,000, around $200 every $10,000 for monthly, and qualifying questions. Be able to qualify your customers quickly and to be able to put them on a car basically as quickly as possible.
Okay, what I want you to do for the rest of this episode is, I'm really proud. You know why my podcast is like the number one? Is because we don't just cheerlead Bugs Bunny, rah, rah, rah. We give actual valuable details, not just motivation. So think about people that are selling 9 cars or 10 cars or 15 cars, and they see this dude on this podcast and they're like, oh man, they're probably proud of you, but not that they're jealous, but they're frustrated. Like, man, why is he able to do that? How did he go in 4.5 years from making $26,000 a year to making $26,000 in a month? Like, yeah, I'm not doing that. So let's give them some details. When you're saying qualifying, let me just give some context. Okay. NADA says the number one reason why people don't buy cars is because they're landed on the wrong car, which we didn't qualify them the right way. We didn't have a good needs assessment. So I'm actually really impressed that you said that. And it makes sense why you're a 40 car guy, because, you understand the importance of qualifying a prospect. So can you demonstrate? Let's let live role play, bro. You're either about this life or you're faking the funk. And I know you're about this life. So let's get grizzly. Let's go.
Yes,
all right. So if you up me, let's talk about what kind of franchise do you work for?
I work for Kia.
Kia, I love it. My daughter's an F&I manager at a Kia dealership. So let's just say, what's the number one selling Kia right now?
I would say the Telluride. It's been the number one.
Let's go. I love the Telluride. The EXs are lit. All right, so let's go. All right, so I just came in. How do you get most of your ups? Floor ups, internet ups, whatever ups?
It's a good mixture between. I would
let's
say
do floor. Let's do a floor up strategy first. Okay, you just greeted me like literally like we're in video, so you could I just walked in. What is your greeting? What do you literally say?
Hey, how's it going, sir? My name is Denzel from Kia for Walton Beach. How can I help you today?
I'm looking to buy a car.
Looking to buy a car? Okay. Is there any type of certain vehicle you're looking for?
I'm looking for the SUV. I'm looking for SUV, third row, preferably, if possible.
Awesome, sir. I think I have the perfect one in mind for you. We have a full row of Tellurides out front. Have you ever seen a Telluride before? First time?
No, I've definitely seen those. I think those are big. I'm not sure if I could afford one, but like, oh my God, those are gorgeous.
Most definitely. All right. So what are you currently paying on your current vehicle now? Payment wise.
Say again?
What's your current payment on your current vehicle now, sir?
That's a little personal. Why you want to know that?
I'm just trying to see what kind of payment I can get you on this next Telluride visit if we could get you in the car, sir. I'm just trying to qualify to see.
Oh, no, I'm not offended. I was just asking. Okay, so that's there. Fair enough. Right now, on my current vehicle, I'm paying roughly maybe about like $699 a month.
Okay, awesome. Gotcha. So this one is in the 42,000 range, the one I was going to pull up for you. Is there any certain bells and whistles that you may be looking for that you may want to get out of from your current vehicle?
Yeah, like I told you, I don't know if I could afford it, but I got great taste. You know what I'm saying? So like I would like leather, sunroof, Apple CarPlay. Like again, I like it loaded out if I could afford it. Can I afford it like and be similar to where I'm paying now or no?
I'm not too certain. What I have to do is going to appraise your trade, sir, and we'll go from there. And we'll have to get a credit application to see where the payments fall out. I think we may be close depending on what you told me for your payoff. So we have to start from there. And then let me just draw the numbers up for you, sir, and just see what I can do for you. Let me get the car pulled up for you and see what you think. I think it'll check all the boxes you may be looking for.
All right, stop. Okay, as a trainer, it's really interesting. You know what I mean? There is no wrong way to do stuff. You know what I mean? So obviously you're doing something right because you're selling 40 cars. What I do recognize is different with what you're doing is you're asking about what their current investment is in the very beginning. And I think that's very strategic. You know, for you, it works really well because it makes sense. Because if somebody comes in and I'm paying $699 a month, and let's just say, what is the fully loaded EX Telluride MSRP?
I believe it's in the 45,000 range.
Okay, so right now, if I just put $699 times 60, that's only $41,940. So there's no way that I could afford that EX right now, because that $41,940 is the total. That's got to include tags, registration, motor vehicles, delivery charge, and my interest rate for 60 months. So again, what you're doing, and I already know, but I'm going to translate to our audience, is you're not wasting time, because there's a lot of times that people that don't know how to qualify a prospect the right way or have an accurate needs assessment, what they're saying is like, hey, let's go take a look at a car. What are you looking at? And they have the customer go find a car and then try to put a deal together. And sometimes they can't afford it. It's out of their range. They don't qualify for it, or they're upside down, or it's too much money, or they don't want to invest the money, or whatever it is. What you're doing is you're cutting all that aggravation out. You're cutting all the wasted time, because you're using logic. You're asking them, what they're paying right now to be able to correlate to see if this is comfortable, or what would they, what is the budget that they set, to just make sure on the same page. Because again, let me just reverse it. If I'm the Kia dealer, salesperson, and you're the prospect, and you said $699, here's how I would have handled it. I would have said, okay, Denzel, first and foremost, I am here to not only sell you the exact car you're looking for, but check this out. My goal is to sell you the car exactly on your terms and in your scenario. Again, I'm your guy. The only way that I make money here is if you sell a car, and the only way that I have a career is if you keep coming back and you refer friends and family. The only way I could do that is if I do a great job. So let me just tell you, nothing today is going to be me. I promise it's going to be 100% you. So now, with that being said, though, there's a reality of math and reality. And so if you're paying $699 right now, just basic math, times 60 months, that's $41,940. So the situation with that is the MSRP is, let's say about $46,000 approximately on a fully loaded EX, etc. Now, we didn't even get into if you have a trade or not, but let's say you didn't have a trade. Understanding $699 a month is only $41,940. Let's round up to $42,000, right? It's only $42,000, but that's not just the price of the car. That's got to include your taxes, tags, registration, motor vehicles, as well as your interest rate for those 60 months. Now, we haven't even gotten to credit yet or any other stuff. That's if you've got great tier 1 credit, So the reality is this: before we even go any further, there's no way that's going to be possible with this. And that's okay, because, we have a couple of different options. Either option one is, if this is the vehicle that you want to buy, I'm your guy. I'm going to try to sell you this car, but I want to set realistic expectations. You're not going to be able to keep it at $699 a month unless you have enough down payment to offset what the cost is, A, and or B, you have a trade-in that has equity in it that would offset the cost. Or C, again, we might need to look at, maybe extending the term if you qualify for that, because we might be able to go to 66, 72, 84 months or whatever it is, which might be into it. So these are the variables. With that being said, the final option, which I'm not saying that you need to consider, is also looking at a different version of the Telluride instead of the EX. But again, this is your way. I'm not here to tell you how you're going to buy a car and what your terms are. I'm here to try to get you everything you want, so you love us. So with that being said, Denzel, how would you like me to proceed? Because at $699, that's not realistic. And I don't want to have you go on the lot, look at this car, get excited, and then I give you bad news 30, 40 minutes down the road. So based on what I would say, how would you like me to proceed? Would you like to readjust your budget for this vehicle? Would you like to turn around and talk about a trade-in or down payment? Or are you open to maybe upping your budget to be able to actually afford this vehicle realistically? Or would you like us to, talk about maybe a different model, the Telluride? Stop. Denzel, not the prospect, but Denzel, right? What do you think about how I handled that, how I articulated that?
I liked it. Yeah, that was great, sir.
Okay. So now, to me, I like doing things like that, because what happens is I am not adversarial to the prospect. That's what my goal is. I need them to know I'm their guy. I'm locking arms with them. I'm their guy, and I'm there to help them. I'm like their ambassador. I'm their liaison. I'm the concierge. I'm here to help them. And so whenever I try to like make it non-confrontational and I'm not pushing them into anything, the more that I make it, hey, what do you want to do? How would you want to do this? What's important to you? It's so much easier because sales is simple. It's about trust. If you get somebody to like you, trust you, and believe you, they're going to buy from you, especially if they're in the market. Would you agree?
I would agree 100%.
Couple questions for you is, tell me, when you ask somebody that, you see how I push back on purpose? Because I think some people will push back when you ask, let's say you asked 100 people, what do you think the percentage is when you ask people right from the rip, like you did, what their current, payment is or whatever? How many people honestly answer you the right number?
I would say 50.
That's good. That's hell. That's better than I was, but that's good though. So for our audience, like Denzel, I respect you for what you saying that, because Denzel's not blowing smoke and saying everybody's going to just give you the number. No, but if you don't ask, you don't get. Okay. So now, would you say that the 50% of people that actually give you the number or the right number or what have you, that it makes everything easier because you're able to do what I just did. You're able to reverse engineer and make sure you got the right vehicle. They appreciate it. They save time. Tell us what the other benefits are of using that process.
The other benefits of using that process, it allows you to simplify basically finding the vehicle. Depending on if they have a trade-in or their credit situation or anything like that, you'll be able to better understand on what they need to, or the vehicle they need to be on, or if it's either new versus pre-owned or a completely another vehicle out of the scenario.
Okay. Now, what about the other half of the people that either push back? They're like, don't worry about it, you know what I mean? Or what have you? How do you handle that?
Man, basically, I just try to gauge off where they're going. Basically, what I usually do, I get the payoff for their vehicle, and I try to gauge it off what they're paying now, what they paid MSRP for that. I can ask them if they had a trade-in and put money down on their last purchase to try to gauge where they might be. If they will give me what their credit score is, I can try to gauge it from there. And I just try to piece it a little bit together when I take the numbers out on the new vehicle to see how far we're apart. That's kind of what really starts to peel itself out when I get the number presented.
So, but regardless, if it's easier or more difficult, meaning when you ask that question, whether they answer or they don't answer, the strategy you're doing that is, instead of you going to, qualification to immediately product selection, showing a vehicle and try to put a deal together, you're trying to be smart and strategic and say, does this make sense? Are we on the same page before we get a bunch of keys, spend a bunch of time, waste the prospect's time, waste your time. And at the end of the day, after waste everybody's time, there's no car sale. So this basically, the punchline is, this helps you make sure you're on the right track before you do the product selection, correct?
Exactly. Yes, sir.
I love that. Okay, good. So that's one pro tip. Give me another pro tip. How are you a 40 car guy? That was great. Okay, let's go to the next one. What else are your secrets to success?
What you can do is start posting on Facebook. A lot of the marketplace stuff has been hitting great. You'd be surprised how many hits you'll get from that.
Okay, stop. So I'm gonna frame this. Okay. So now we're gonna switch from process. Okay. Because the first part of this is the road to the sale process, qualification. That's a process strategy. What you're now saying is the next part of your success as a 40 car guy is basically, you're generating your own business. You are not just waiting for ups to come into the dealership. Even though you work at a great store with a lot of ups, you're not just going to wait for the magic up bus. You're going to be proactive and generate that. And you're about to tell us how you leverage Facebook Marketplace. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Exactly.
Here's what I want you to do, Denzel. I would like you first. I obviously know what Facebook Marketplace is, and I know most of our people do, but there might be some new hires, new salespeople that don't know, or they know, but they never use it. So first, explain what Facebook Marketplace is to our audience.
Okay. Facebook Marketplace is an area where you can go to have things sold quickly, depending on what it is. You can put vehicles on there and people will use it just like Craigslist. They can find your vehicle, and just like Vince Solutions, they'll reach out to you and you can get them in the door.
Okay, perfect. So now, correct me if I'm wrong, right? Facebook Marketplace is not expensive either.
No, from last time I checked, it's free unless
that's my point.
Yeah. And if you
you need to say that. So Facebook Marketplace doesn't cost you any money, correct?
No, not $1.
Okay, so tell us exactly what you do and pretend like I'm 12 years old and I've never sold cars before. So explain it not like a kid, but make it really simple where I can understand if I've never done this before. What do you literally do on Facebook Marketplace?
Okay, What I do, I take photos of my inventory. If you're trying to sell new vehicles, get a couple photos of the exterior, a couple photos of the interior. You want to have photos of listed of yourself with customers from previous deals to show that you're like-minded. You're currently in the industry making deals. Then you would like to put details in the details section. Give them your name, the location you're at, your phone number. Let them know that you work with all types of individuals and you're here to help befriend them. And just put your information there. Have them reach out.
Question: how many pieces of inventory do you put on a month personally? How many do you do?
I would say 10 to 15 posts of different vehicles. I have some posts that are just listing for buyers that come in to try to get maybe bad credit resolved or just trying to get a first time buyer. I have different types of setups.
Okay, see, this is strategy. Okay, so let's talk about the actual inventory where you take the interior, exteriors. You put about 15 cars. That's it. I know some people that put like their entire inventory or 50 cars. Talk to us your opinion. Why is it good to put maybe 10 and 15 instead of 30, 40, or 100? Because of the time it takes or because of...
Exactly. Yes, Sean. So basically the time it takes to get the quality photos for the inside and exterior while I'm working, takes me a little bit of time. So 15 for me is definitely a good enough. You get a good amount of hits or clicks from those 15. So not only that they're looking at that specific car, you can spin them on a different vehicle that you have on the lot if that one was to have sold. So you get different clicks and you can do different things with just those opportunities,
How many leads do you generate off of Facebook Marketplace in a month? How many leads do you?
This month, I would say I had about 35 leads that came in.
It's only halfway through the month, right? So again, it's only halfway through, and you already had 35 leads?
Yes, sir. Yeah, because I boost the post. You can pay a daily dollar amount to boost the
How much
post.
do you spend to boost?
$35, sir.
$35?
Yeah, $35 for a 5-day period.
So how much do you spend total a month to boost?
So it's going to be around 70. I do less than $100. So 70, I max out.
Okay, so good. So you're spending less than $100 a month to boost your Facebook Marketplace post. And already, yes. So if you're already in half of the month and you're at 35 leads, then approximately will be around 70 to 80 leads a month is what you're getting for a full month. Is that about right?
Exactly. Yes.
Okay. So now out of the 70 leads that you generate from Facebook Marketplace for out of a month, out of only $70 cost out of your pocket, how many car sales do you say are attributed to your Facebook Marketplace strategy?
Well, I'm at 16 cars right now, and I would say 5 and 6 of them have contributed from Facebook or deals.
Okay, so bro, that's crazy. So you're telling me that so far this month, it's only half the month. You've only spent $35 out of your pocket for half the month, and you've generated 35 leads, okay? And you already sold 6 to 7 cars this month already from Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah. You'll be
my man, that is crazy. Okay.
Yep.
Now, I think that's brilliant, but can I give you my opinion?
Go ahead.
You're leaving money on the table, fam. You're crazy. Stop being cheap. You're only spending $70, bro. Like that's a mooch. You know what I mean? No, you don't know, because if you did, you'd be spending more money. You just spent $35 to sell, 6 or 7 cars. Why don't you turn around and put $200-300 into Facebook Marketplace? And or why don't you hire somebody, a kid, somebody, hey, I'll give you a couple $100 to shoot all these pictures and post this on there, because you're right. I mean, you're a 40 car guy. You sold 40 cars, in 1 month. At that level, why don't you get an assistant? There's a couple things that you could do. You could get a commission-based person, not for the dealership, for yourself. You could put an ad on Glassdoor, Indeed, ZipRecruiter. You could put ads on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, whatever. Say, hey, I'm hiring, not your dealership, but I, Denzel Applewhite, is hiring a performance-based person. Here's the job. It's a part-time job, or it's a project job. It's a freelance job. I need you either to shoot these pictures or make these posts, because you can't follow up and do all that stuff and do that. So for you to get to that next level, like 50 cars, 60 cars, 70 cars, or at least be more consistent at the 40 car level, you have to have a system. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yes,
so
sir.
Tell me, how come you haven't done that before, what I'm saying right here?
Honestly, I was kind of overwhelmed because there's a lot of leads that come in. I just being just like you said, trying to manage them all. I was just kind of nervous. Not nervous, just the fact that it was a lot. Plus, what I have in my VIN solutions already, and so I just didn't want to overwhelm myself. But most definitely, I was definitely going to do what you're talking about. When I get to that point, just keep scaling it up, scaling
Yes,
it up.
yes,
Yeah,
yes. That's what business is
yeah.
scaling, 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 scaling. I love it. Okay, so that's two great things. I feel like Count Chocula, two great ideas. La, la, la. All
Yes.
right, so give me, keep giving us. I'm going to, what's the next thing that makes you successful?
Just being hungry. I would say that's the main thing. After I talk to a customer and that doesn't work out, a lot of guys will sit back on their desk, scroll on their phone, look up TikTok, that whole deal. But I'm right back out there on the lot trying to find a new opportunity. I'll take 2 or 3 ups back to back if I have to get someone to buy. Like that's just how I am, and I think that's what sets me apart from the other salespeople. That's one of the main things.
I love that because I think you're accurate from, again, doing this for 27 years. What I find is that there's so many people that want to be rich, they want to be successful, but they don't want to put that work in. Denzel, I don't know if you heard this expression. Why don't people lift weights? Do you know?
I don't know.
Because they're heavy, baby. Because they're heavy. That's why I don't lift weights and shit. Because they're heavy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm talking about like real big weights. So
Yeah.
again, this is not easy. Making $26,000 in a month selling cars. It's not easy. But it's a lot easier than doing manual labor. It's a lot easier than a lot of things because it's white collar work. You know what I'm saying? So, but to your point though, if you're in the huddle, if you're sitting there complaining about how messed up the economy is and your pay plan is this, or, you don't have enough ups, and if it's all you're doing is bitching and complaining, or you're sitting there playing TikTok, or you're going through social media, not for business, but just for fun, or you're in the huddle, or you're hiding in the bathroom, you know what I mean, to kill time until your shift's over, you're never going to be successful. See, car sales is simple, Denzel. The more you put into it, the more you get out of it. You can make as much money as you can earn, but the key word is earn. You have to earn that shit, right?
Yeah, no, most definitely. Most definitely.
All right. So mindset, I think, is really good. Okay. Let me just ask some other strategic questions. There's 8 ways to sell cars: walk-in ups, be-backs, internet, phone, prior customers, orphan owners, service conversions, referrals, and prospecting. We already talked about walk-in ups. Okay. How do you do with be-backs? Do you have a good follow-up process? If somebody comes in and you don't spot them in VIN, do you have a methodical follow-up strategy? Are you good at the carryover leads and getting people to come back and buy from you, or no?
I'm pretty good at following up. I do a farm basically every couple months with customers I did purchase. We have a sheet that we send out to that sees if they have anyone that may want to purchase that may have any questions or anything like that. So I do pretty good. I've been in the area since 2003. So a lot of people know me. I get a lot of referral business. People come see me firsthand.
Oh,
Hey,
no, don't. No, wait. I want to ask on B-backs. We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Okay.
I want to because B-backs got. Okay,
Yep.
you are good at internet, right? Internet leads.
Yes.
Okay, so tell me, how do you handle an internet customer? Because, that is the majority of leads at a dealership is internet leads. So do you have a philosophy or strategy on how to handle your internet customers?
I would try to handle them just like I would in person. Try to see what they're looking for. Basically, try to make sure the vehicle's on the lot, see what day they can make it here. Try to get as much information as I can via text or call on the internet, just so I can translate that to in person to have a smooth transition for the vehicle or whatever, the whole process.
Okay, how about phone ups? Do you take a lot of phone ups?
Not so much. So we have a new process here at our store. So we have a third party program that picks up our phone calls for leads, then they're dispersed through our VIN solution. So not so much anymore, but I used to.
Okay. No, but I'm sure even if you have software third party, they're not selling the cars. Even if they're making the appointments, who gets the phone up appointments when they show up? Do they round robin to the store? What happens?
So it is round robin to the store.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
so that's how you get the phone ups. It's like you might not work the phone ups, but you get the phone up appointment when they show up.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's
No
cool.
aspirin,
Okay.
yeah.
That's cool. Okay, now here's something interesting. How long have you been at that dealership, the same dealership? 4.5 years?
Yes.
Okay, so then you definitely have, between lease returns and prior customers and things like that, you have prior customers. Do you do any data mining or equity mining?
Not recently. No, sir. No.
Okay, listen, my dude, I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm a VIN expert, as you know, at the highest levels in the country. VIN has a data mining tool called Target. Are you familiar with Target?
No, sir. No.
Okay, so then pay attention to this, take some notes down. See, Target is, okay, first of all, CRM is customer relationship management. There are companies that just have data mining tools like Auto Alert, Auto Loop, or Automotive Mastermind, or what have you. In my opinion, no disrespect to those companies, I think they're silly. I think that a data mine, equity mining company is not needed if you've got a good CRM, because a good CRM, you should be able to do the same exact things. Matter of fact, though, at one point, Vin was paying as a product, they were sell to dealers, their data mining tool called Target. But because of all the evolution and stuff and other CRMs coming out to be competitive, they don't charge anymore. So what you can do is this. You could go in and ask your dealer, hey, do we have Target set up? And they're like, what the hell is Target? Well, Target is Vin Solutions data mining, equity mining. They're like, I don't know. Talk to your Vin rep. If you guys do not have Target there, ask your rep to turn it on. They don't just automatically turn it on, you know what I mean? But now that it's free, if you ask for it, I'll give you an example. One of my dealer group clients, I have an outsourced BDC. So I have about 30 full-time employees in Belize, and then in the Philippines, and then I have a 55,000 square foot facility in Belize with literally over 2,000 agents that we have access to. And so my outsourced Philippine team, we have 4 agents for the McGavick Auto Group in Texas. They just became number 6 in the nation the other month for volume at a small store. They're not even like in a city. They're in Lubbock, Texas. They're not in Chicago, LA, or New York, or Houston, or whatever. They're in a smaller city. And how we did it was all data mining, equity mining. How do we do it? I had Vin Solutions turn on Target for free. And what we're able to do with Vin Solutions software, I don't have time to demo this because I'm not Vin, but trust me when I tell you, it's so easy. You could go into Vin and you're able to very easily identify people, whether it's through service, whether it's your prior customers, or it's orphan owners, and be able to see who's got equity in a vehicle. So for example, you could go back to, you could set the parameters like this. Let me know anybody that's had a loan from us that's 2 years in the loan that they have equity in and, have X amount of miles. Vin Solutions could pull this out to you. And what we're doing is we're calling people and we're saying something like this. Hey, Denzel, this is Sean Bradley from ABC Motors. Did I catch you a good time? Yes. Okay, I was calling just to make sure that you have that 2002 Kia Telluride. EX, you have that? Yes? Oh, good. Let me tell you right now, I don't know if you know, but you have equity in that vehicle. And I think you might have more equity than you realize. Your vehicle still has some of the bumper to bumper warranty on it, but you have a lot gone. There is a way that I believe that I could get you into a newer or brand new Kia Telluride and either keep you at the current payment that you have, or maybe even lower that. Would you consider that? Boom. And so what happens is, it's like anything else, but it's easier because you got to understand prior customers are a 65% closing ratio, whereas showroom customers are 18 to 25. Internet is like 4 to 12, depending on what you're going on. So what I'm able to do is go to prime people proactively. These are not leads. These people weren't even in the market. I just made magic happen. So here's someone like you, bro. I would absolutely use Vin Solutions Target to be able to do data mining, equity mining. Okay, cool. Next thing is, what about orphan owners? Are you working orphan owners?
No, sir. I'm going to talk to him about that as well.
Yo, you better, bro, because here's why. What most people do, and look, you're freaking crazy. You're wrong. You're silly if you don't get yourself as many orphan owners. So you got to understand something. I understand data. I understand success. The highest closing ratio ever in the history of automotive, and I believe ever in the future of automotive, will always be prior customers. When somebody has already gone through the prospecting process, the sales process, they purchased a vehicle, and they come back, they're coming back for a reason. There's trust, there's equity built in the relationships. You did something right. They like the experience, whatever. It's a 65% closing ratio. And then NADA says that a service customer is 7 times as likely to purchase a vehicle or service a car from. And if somebody buys a car from you and then services from you, the next time around, it's anywhere from 75 to 80% closing ratio. So instead of working on low closing ratio stuff like fresh ups and inner ups, I rather allocate my time. And there's certain people that haven't worked in a dealership like you for 4.5 years. They only worked, a year or 6 months or 2 weeks or whatever it is. So they don't have prior customers. But every dealership has orphan owners because we have a 70% attrition ratio in our industry. That means there's tons of turnover. And so anytime somebody leaves, what happens to those people? They're orphaned. And people are like, I don't want to use them. And I'm like, what are you, crazy? This person already bought a car from the dealership. This person might have serviced from the dealership. Why the hell are you not just reaching out and saying, hey, Denzel, this is Sean Bradley. I want to introduce myself. I'm with ABC Motors. And I know that you're dealing with Brian. Brian's no longer with the dealership. I'm going to be able to help you if there's anything you need. So look, I am not selling you anything. I just want to say we really appreciate you as a client. I want to just check in with you, see how you're doing. How's the car experience going? Can I help in any way, shape, or form? Do you need anything? Boom, done. I don't try to say, oh, refer me. No, at first I'm going to engage myself. I'm going to try to establish that rapport. And I might even call them again, like in a couple weeks or a month, just to check in on them. So I might do at least one, maybe even two relationship conversations before I hit him with either, to see what, if he's interested in possibly, upgrading his vehicle or for referral generation. But to me, like, orphan owners are low-hanging fruit. Okay, good. What about service? Do you work service department?
Yes, that is something I'm more familiar with. Yeah. My sister,
good. Let's get into it.
Yeah.
So, like I said, NADA says that a service customer is 7 times as likely to purchase a vehicle. So first of all, how many cars do you average from the service department approximately?
I would say close to around 3 or 4. Not
Good.
too much.
Again, but see what you're doing there. You're smart. See, if you just take fresh ups or just take internet ups, that's all the success you're going to be. But I've already heard you say that in this interview, you said you take fresh ups, you take internet ups, you are in rotation for phone ups that come in, you do, prior customers, and you do referral generation, and you do your own prospecting on Marketplace. You are diversifying yourself. That's what a business owner does. A business owner doesn't just have one revenue stream or one prospect stream. They diversify. Why? The analogy is this for my audience. Think of stocks versus mutual funds. I could take $10,000 in cash and put it into one stock. Apple stock or AT&T stock or Tesla stock or whatever, or I could take $10,000 and put it into mutual funds. If I have 5 different stocks in one mutual fund, $2,000 each, or if I've got 10 stocks in one mutual fund for $1,000 each. So the strategy is I could put $10,000 into one thing, or I could put, $10,000 into 5 or 10 different things. The benefit is, God forbid that stock, 1 or 2 of my stocks don't do well, I could have all the other ones that could not only keep me profitable, but maybe even overcompensate for that. So my point being is that, you might have a lot of success for internet ups, but what happens if 1 month the internet is just dry or not good? Or if you take all, phone ups, or you take all fresh ups, but something happens in marketing, advertising, the OEM, or your geographic or something, then you're screwed. You're shit out of luck. You're in trouble. But if you diversify the way that you prospect, if you diversify, the way that you're generating revenue, you minimize your risk of not being successful. So I love this. So tell us what your service process is, because there's different ways. You could either just show up to the service department and just up people randomly with no strategy, which can work. Or 2, you could spiff or bird dog service writers and get like referrals from the service writers. Or 3, you could use InVin, how every day when you go to your task sheet, it shows you your appointments, and you could either use CRM technology, or you could even look at the appointments that are coming in. Because remember, in service, there's not just your service customers or orphan service customers. There's service customers that have never purchased a vehicle ever at every dealership in the country. They're called serviced, non-sales customers, right? And so you could work that strategy. So tell us, what is your service strategy?
All right, I implement just about 2 to 3. I use VIN solutions to see who has appointments on certain days. I see what car they're bringing in. If it's an older, like it's a Kia Optima versus I could run by them, call them, reach out to them. I also keep my eye on the lot too for people that are pulling up in older vehicles. 2013 Kia Souls is one of the popular ones. Those older things, I keep my eye out for that. I greet them just like I would a person on that walks into the store. I try to make it make sense as much as I can for them. If I can keep you in the same payment or close with the trade in your current vehicle you have now, would that make sense to you? And a lot of people bite on it. You'll be surprised, Sean.
This has been the most in-depth training I've had in my lot of years in the car business.
We went from 60 cars to 156 cars a month in 3 months.
NAMAD, the entire Toyota Chicago region, as well as the top automotive groups like Koons, Lithia, and Norm Reeves have all used Bradley On Demand to train their team.
They're the most comprehensive training company I've seen, and they by far have the best support system. doing 50 cars a month, topped out at 80. I can tell you that the Bradley on-demand training will get you to the next level.
And guess what? The world's #1 car salesman, Cody Carter, shares his exclusive strategies right here. You want his secrets? You gotta have Bradley On Demand. If you're still not enrolled in Bradley On Demand, you're missing out on the best virtual automotive training in the world. Enroll now or contact us for a free test drive of the platform today.
Give me a percent. How many people do you up in service? Like, how many service prospects do you generate in a month?
In a month, I would say no more. I would say 5 max. I don't do it all the time. It's just
holy crap! And you're selling 3 to 4 cars out of 5
months from service, probably. Yeah, just from service people.
So wait a minute, but you only talk. Wait a minute. So you're only talking to 5 people in service, and you wind up selling 3 out of 4 to the out of 5 people you talk to, or do you talk to 10 people and you sell 3 or 4 cars?
So for the whole month, I would probably talk to 15 people total.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. That makes more sense. Okay, so good.
Yeah.
So that's good. So you're talking to in an entire month. I know it's only half this month. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So, you are talking to about 15 people a month from service. And out of those 15 people, you're selling 3 to 4 cars.
Most definitely, yeah. If it makes sense.
Okay, that's crazy. So what does that mean is, out of the 15 people you talk to, then more than half of them are interested in giving you an opportunity to each explain what you're talking about, right?
Exactly. That's all. I just try to, if I can give me the time to make it make sense, and it does make sense, you'd be surprised the amount of people that go ahead and sign up.
I love it. Okay, yeah. That's strong. My advice to you as my friend now is, bro, if that's working, then you got to just increase that somehow. You got to figure out, how do you talk to 20? How do you talk to 25 people in service? Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Who can you get involved, to work with you in service? You have 2 options. Maybe you partner up with a service writer. I don't know what the policy is at your dealership, or even, and this might sound crazy, but maybe you even partner with a salesperson at the dealership. Me personally, I'd rather try to avoid that. I would go through a service writer first if I'm allowed to. But if not, I know some people at dealerships. So let's say me and you worked at the dealership and you're like, hey, listen, brother, let's try to get that money together. And then so you could tag team, not on every up and everything else, but like we could partner with the service that way, because sometimes if you're not available to handle something, it's okay. Do you see what I'm saying? I could cover you. But so again, there's nothing wrong with that. But see, so many times dealerships, like salespeople don't want to do anything with anybody else. It's mine. Like the freaking golem from Lord of the Rings, my precious. But the most successful people are collaborations, interdependence, synergy, teamwork. You know what I mean? So that's an idea. Okay, now we got 2 more categories. Referrals. Okay, not prospects. The difference is this, folks, for my audience, because people get confused. A referral is when somebody else that has nothing to do with the dealership gives you an opportunity, a lead that you wind up selling. That is a referral. Okay, if you turn around and you are advertising and marketing on your own, whether it's marketplace, it's social media, it's video, it's in the community, it's friends and family, that's prospecting. So there is a big difference between referral generation and prospect generation. You understand the difference, right? So referral generation, how do you get referrals? And again, referrals are, how do you get other people to recommend or refer people to you? What is your process? How do you do that?
All right. So our referral program here at the stores, we give any person that refers us a customer and they purchase, we give them $100. So basically, anyone that's purchased from me, I let them know, hey, if you have anyone else that may be on the maybe wanting a vehicle, I can give you $100. Just send them to me if they're interested in that Kia. We have over 500 pre-owned cars. I can make something work for them, and then we'll get them the $100 sent to them within 2 weeks.
And how many referrals do you close a month?
I would say I've had about 3 or 4, not too many. It's all
right. Well, I'm about to Beyonce upgrade you, because no offense, brother, that's kind of basic. You know what I mean? I'm glad it works for you. It's basic, but let me Beyonce upgrade you real quick. I'm about to upgrade you. Okay, a couple things. First thing I would do is this: I would have a conversation with your management, because obviously, if you are a 30, 40 car guy and you sold 40 cars in a month, that they respect you. They know that you're not BSing, you're not wishy-washy, like you work hard. So you've got a good report management, right?
Exactly. Yes.
Okay, so good. So you could either repeat this or have them watch this when this airs in a couple weeks. Here's what I would say to management. The $100 a week, I think, is weak. $100 bird dog, I think it's weak. Why? Because NADA says the average cost per sale in advertising is about $640 per car. What that means is the average dealership has an advertising budget totally about $64,000, $65,000 a month. If the average dealership sells 100 cars, that means mathematically, theoretically, it's about $650 per car. So if it costs the dealership, I guarantee your Kia dealership is spending anywhere from $4,000 to $1,000 a month just to sell a car. You understand me? right? So if that's the case, why, and you're not the only store. There's a ton of stores that only have $100, but I would try to get more from the dealer. You know, like Tiana, when she worked at Patriot Buick GMC, they were doing like 200. Chrysler of Lawrenceburg, their first bird dog is 250. If somebody brings in a second referral within the same month and it closes, the next one is 3 something. And if they do the third one in a month, it's another extra 700. They pay over like $1,100 a month if they get 3 deals from the same prospect within the same calendar month. The problem is this: managers get worried that their salespeople are going to lie and bullshit and say this is a bird dog, this is a bird, and it's not, or they're going to do it after the deal is done. For it to work, there has to be a real system, and the deal is this. You know, and my philosophy is that I don't pay out any bird dogs unless you let the desk know before the deal is structured or collaborated on. You can't turn around and put a deal together and say, oh, by the way, that was a referral, I need a check request. That doesn't happen. The other thing is this: I would say try to get your dealership to do $200, you know what I mean, if possible. And here's the thing I'm going to tell you: if the dealer doesn't, what is your mini at your dealership? What is the worst case scenario? Not that you want to sell a mini, but if you had a bad situation, you had to give a car away, it was aged unit, what's your minis at your store?
250.
Bro, come on. So fam, keep it real. Look, here's what I'm going to tell you. Like I tell my family. My family sells cars. I got people on the floor. I got people in the management, etc., at dealerships right now. So I'm going to speak to you like you're my family. Yeah. Bro, why would you not take at least $100, $150 out of your mini? Because if this is a real referral, you would have never had this person ever before. So what you want to do is incentivize these people where you want to get them strung out. I want to turn around and offer somebody more. So here's the thing is, let's say you get the dealership to give a regular bird dog, they're paying $200. I'm still saying whatever the dealership is giving, I want you to dig in your pocket and come up with it. And I know some people that are listening to us might say, I can't afford it. I'm broke. I have no money. I have a mortgage. I got bills. I got a habit. I got whatever going on. And I understand that. But if you can't, then I understand that. Okay. And it is what it is. But bro, if you're telling me making $26,000 in a month and you make tens of thousands of dollars a month or what have you, then guess what? You could freaking afford to come out of your pocket. And here's the other thing too. Why don't you give your referral people, I don't care what the dealership does, but why don't you make a deal with your referral people and say, hey, look, first person that you give me in a month, it's going to be a minimum of $200. $100 coming from the dealership. I don't want you to know $100 coming out of my pocket. Now, why I say minimum is because, again, I might be able, if I get a bonus or whatever, if I sell enough cars, I might even pass that bonus on to you and give you even more money. But if you give me 2 people, okay, the second time I will give you $300. Okay, so if you give me 2 people, that's a total of $500. Now, if you give me 3 people that close in a month, on the third deal, I'll give you $400. Now, bro, Denzel, think of that. What is that going to do for you if you got 1 prospect in 1 month that gives you 3 deals? Okay, think about that, what that might do for your volume bonus and for your potential grosses and everything else. Because you don't give cars away, not at your level. You see what I'm saying? But that's how a boss thinks. Because you need to incentivize. You have a pay plan, don't you? That's why you work your ass off, because the more you do, the more you get. Why are we not doing that to referral agents? You know what I mean? Again, your job is to get somebody so excited to refer people to you that they are up at night online trying to find people. They're calling their friends and family. Why? Because if I knew that I could make literally 4, 3, 2, 7, if I could make $900 in 1 month, that's a mortgage for some people. That's rent for some people, a part of a mortgage. That's damn sure your car payment for people. Can you imagine? Hey, I would be advertising, hey, let me make your car payments for free. I can make your car. How? I have a referral program. We pay cash money. Okay, what is your car payment? Your car payment's $650 a month. I'm going to need 2 to 3 referrals from you that close, and I can make your whole car payment. Do you see how I framed it? Bro, what do you think about that?
I like that. No, you're giving me real gems. I appreciate that, Sean.
Well, listen, you're giving our audience gems. This is a reciprocal thing here. I want to learn from you. I want to teach you, because when I learn from you, my audience learns from you. When I teach you, my audience learns as well, too. You feel me?
Yes.
All right, good. The other thing I'm going to tell you, and I'm not sure if you saw any of my stuff, that's one thing. Okay, so the money aspect of it is one thing, and the stair step is one thing. But the other thing for referral generation that's going to really help you is when you start going after organizations. If you start targeting military bases, police departments, fire departments, paramedics, teachers unions, churches, you want to basically go to people that have access to a lot of people. Instead of getting what you just said, this is why I said is lame, no offense, is like, okay, I just spotted you a car. I just sold you the Telluride, right? And I'm like, Denzel, if you know anybody that's looking for a car, let me know and I'll pay you all this money. Boom. Okay, that's great, but that's want. Here's what's even better. If you worked at a restaurant, if you were a waiter and I pitched you, I'm like, yo, Denzel, man, I appreciate you being my waiter. I've been coming here for about a month now, and you seem like a good dude. I see that a lot of people like you, but bro, I've been watching you work your ass off with all these plates and all that stuff. How would you like to earn an extra $7,000 to $10,000 a year for practically doing nothing legal? I'm a high level salesperson at a major automotive dealership. And again, if you know anybody that's in a market, whether it's friends, family, or any of the customers, if anybody says that their car is broke, their car is not good, they're looking for a new car, or their lease is about to be up, or anything automotive, all you got to do is get their contact information and send it to me. And if I sell them a car, I will pay you this, and this. Now, are you freaking kidding me? You know what's going to happen? Now they're like, oh shit, day to day, people talk to me all the time. All I got to do is just let my man know Denzel at the dealership, and I get mailbox money, I get cash money, I get all this stuff. Why not? And now, okay, that's one waiter. Start getting one waiter, two waiter, three waiter, four waiter, bartender 1, bartender 2, bartender 3, club promoter 1, club promoter 2, club promoter 3, real estate brokers, mortgage brokers, lawyers, the local businesses, the pizza shop. Now you're developing a coalition. You're developing a network of referral agents. Not just referral people. I want to get not somebody just once in a while. I want to have people that have access to a lot of people that they could theoretically pump me referrals daily or weekly. Do you know why you don't have that right now?
Why?
Because you're not looking for one.
I was about to say, yeah.
You spend zero amount of your time, and that's not even a question, that's a statement. I know it just from this conversation. You spend zero amount of your day, every week, every month, the last 4.5 years, you've not spent a second thinking about who the hell can I engage, find, infiltrate, partner with that could pump me personally as a salesperson with referrals on a daily basis, or shit, at least on a weekly basis. And that's why you don't have it. But if you spend at least 1 to 2 hours a day focusing on trying to find agents or agencies in that strategy, now you have a macro selling, not just the micro selling that you were talking about before. Does that make sense?
Most definitely. Yeah. I like that a lot. I'm about to implement it.
But that's why we're having this conversation. I wouldn't waste my breath with a 5, person, 5 sales a month, 10 sales a month, but I'm talking to a 40 car guy. I know I'm not wasting my breath. I'm trying to like help you get to that next level, man. Now, last question I have is this. What about prospects other than Facebook Marketplace? You said you're involved in the community. Tell us what you do in the community and how does that turn into referrals or sales?
So what I do in the community, it doesn't really necessarily turn into car deals, but necessarily. I've been in the area since 2003. I played football at Niceville High School, the local high school, and locally college, University of West Florida. So a lot of people know me from the sports, that type of field, but people know me as to sell cars now since I've been posting on Facebook. So people tend to reach out, hey, some of my high school friends, college friends I went with, so they know that I'm in the business. So they tend to reach out. Just know that I'm in the community.
And how many sales do you get from prospecting or being in the community a month?
I would say it's in the 5. It's all sprinkling. I would say in the 3 to 4.
Yeah, that makes sense. You see, you're diversified. You're getting from here, from there. Okay, now, as we start to wind down, I'm going to switch the focus to this. Okay. What do you think is the reason why most people, not just at your dealership, because I don't know if anybody at your store is going to watch this, so I'm not trying to get you to say anything disrespectful or whatever, so I don't mean any offense, but I'm being real here. Not everybody's a 40 car guy, you know what I mean? So why do you think, whether it's your store or just the industry in general, why do you think people only sell 8, 10, 12, 15 cars a month if they're lucky? Why are they not as successful as you? What do you think holds people back from maximizing their career in automotive sales?
The number one thing I would say is motivation, and the motivation and the hustle. And maybe the dealership not having the proper backing and coaching, teaching the lessons. I would say that's probably 2 of the most important things right there.
Okay, that's what's up.
Hands down.
All right. Now, as we close out the show, because we got a time to say goodbye. Right. So what I want you to be able to do is let me know if you have any advice that you would like, separate from what we talked about. Like, you see how you feel like I gave you value. Did I give you some real tangible stuff for you to be successful immediately? Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Hell yeah, I did, right? So
Yeah,
I want, as we close right now, give us a couple more nuggets. Any other advice, any other tips? Let me just pick your brain for our audience. What else can you advise our people? So if you think of technology that helps you, if you think of process that helps you, you think of a strategy that helps you, what can you give us of anything that you do in your career that might help another automotive professional?
Basically, I would just say one thing in motivation, I would say if you're in car sales, you get in what you put out, you get out what you put in. So just keep that in mind first and foremost. Just try to take the job as serious because you are your own business. And I know it looks like you're working as a dealership, but you are your own business. And just take it serious and just have fun. That's the last thing. I didn't think I was having fun for a long time. And then I try to look back and then I try to make it fun again. So just be happy, have fun, and then be very motivated, have a plan.
Hey everybody, this is Sean B. Bradley, and you've been rocking with Denzel Applewhite, who is a 40-car guy. This man went from $26,000 a year to $26,000 in a month. That is crazy. So Denzel, thank you very much. I appreciate you. We out.
Later.
Thank you so much for watching this week's episode. If you liked it, you're gonna love Bradley On Demand. Bradley On Demand is the most advanced virtual training, tracking, testing, and certification platform. What does that mean? It's an online university. And if you like this information here, we have hundreds and hundreds of advanced videos, step by step, on how to help you sell more cars more often and more profitably, so sign up now.